Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled 10 Things Real Men Should Be Doing for Women. And guys, this article is written by a woman, and it's going to go into all these things, typical so-called gentlemanly things that all men should do, all real men should be doing, obviously for women, okay? And in actuality, the truth is, this article really should be called 10 Things Men Should Be Doing for Women If They Never Want to Get Laid. Okay, because this is purely all like nice guy stuff that this woman who wrote this article wants guys to do, which we all know if you've done these things, that pretty much you're going to be perceived as weak or trying too hard or kissing her butt and get friend-zoned. And no guy wants that, right? On the other hand, the things that she talks about also are things that if you would do, that some women will get upset about because they might see it as being demeaning, like taking away from their power. For instance, like one of the things she brings up is the classic holding the door open for a woman. Well, there's some women that will get upset about that because I can do that. I don't need a man to hold open my door, right? Just nonsense. And you know, guys, you hear women complain all the time that where are the gentlemen, chivalry is dead, stuff like that. And by the way, chivalry, the modern interpretation of chivalry has nothing to do with what it was originally what it came about. It has nothing to do with what it is, but for some reason that term is twisted into being like a gentlemanly thing between men and women. It has nothing to do with that. But that's just how it's perceived and seen today. But the whole where are the gentlemen thing, we know who killed it. Women. And so basically, if women want guys to start behaving like gentlemen, start treating them like ladies, well, first of all, they got to earn it. And also start acting like ladies. You start acting like ladies, and I'm sorry guys, but in today's world where so many women more and more as time goes on display themselves and things on social media like Instagram where they're almost butt naked to get attention and validation from guys, OnlyFans and plenty of other things, why would your average guy be showing respect when you're, doing things that would cause you not to have respect? Right? So I'm going to go through this, guys, and you're going to see what I'm talking about here. And also I want to point out, this once again shows how I've said this countless times that most women do not know what they emotionally respond to. They say, well, they want a guy that's going to be a gentleman and do all these things, and the guy does that, and it ends up turning them off, and they end up going for a guy that doesn't do any of these things. Right? So, as I said before, do not take advice about women. And everything she says in this article, I'm going to add my 2 cents to and add my perspective because I think at this point you guys can trust my word as opposed to your average woman on how to handle things. So, starts off, men find themselves walking a fine line these days. Many women have subscribed to the belief that acts of chivalry are demeaning and oppressive. Others, though, assert that there are no good men left. How many times have we heard that? So what's a man to do? Hold the door for a woman in the hopes that she will thank him for his good manners, or let the door go in case she harbors an anti-patriarchy attitude. We would argue that it's always best to err on the side of chivalry. After all, real men, and she made a point of that, real men do act with respect towards women. Here are 10 things that real men should be doing for women. All right, number 1, holding the door. This is a common act of courtesy that does not need to be reserved for just women. A man who holds the door for another shows that rather than being self-absorbed, he cares about others enough to pause for a moment to make another person's life a tad easier. Bonus points if the door holding is followed up with a smile and a pleasant hello. So, for me, if I'm walking into a building, if I'm walking into the gym or the grocery store and it doesn't have an automatic door, it's something I have to physically open. If I open the door, instinctively I always kind of look behind me to see if somebody's behind me. And if somebody's close, I will hold the door open for them to come in. I don't walk up to a building and open the door like I'm a doorman and allow whomever to go in. The only exception will be is if I see, for instance, say somebody's walking in with a bunch of stuff, like the FedEx driver, the UPS driver is right behind me and he's carrying a bunch of shit. I'll stand it and hold it for him out of respect. Or let's just say it's a old lady or senior or old man or older couple, or somebody that's handicapped or whatever, wheelchair, whatever, I will hold it open for them and help them out. Okay? That's just being a good guy and good manners. Or even if, I'll even go so far, let's just say there's a woman there that she has a stroller with the kid and she's, I'll do that too because, again, I'm not an asshole. But if this is just your everyday, ordinary woman, I'm not going to just be walking into the gym or something like that and like, there you go, Your Highness. No. At best, I'll walk in, open it, and just, and keep on going. And as for like in a dating situation, no. I am not that guy. When I go to a restaurant or whatever, I'm not going to stand there and open the door and let her and go in like she's the queen. No. And sometimes I'll get a smirk from girls, but you know what? I don't care. And guess what? It hasn't caused me any problems. That's how I handle things with regards to the whole door opening thing. And I've never had anybody say anything negative about it, like I don't need no man to hold it open for me. But that's just how I see things are in today's world. I'm not going to go out of my way, especially for any woman, because like, why should I? Really? All right, number 2, carrying heavy objects. Biology proves that men generally have greater physical strength than women. Therefore, it's thoughtful when a man takes on a woman's burden, even if it's just carrying an overstuffed bag of groceries to her front door. Lending a helping hand or bicep should always be welcomed. Well, again, in the world where women need men like a fish needs a bicycle, she can pick up the stuff. Okay? And besides, more women are going to the gym working out more than ever. Now, again, there are exceptions here. For instance, the other day, about a month ago, I was shopping. I was in Costco, and I'm going down the aisle, and I see this woman who's probably about in her mid-50s, I'd say. And she's very short and petite, very little, barely 5 feet tall. And she's trying to pick up this gigantic bag of dog food. Now, in Costco, if you're watching this on the other side of the world, you don't know what Costco is. Costco is a huge discount store where they sell things in bulk. Bigger packaging and all that to get a deal, a cheaper price. Damn ambulances again. Anyhow, so I see her trying to pick up this enormous bag of dog food. It's the biggest bag of dog food I've ever seen. And she can't pick it up. She cannot pick this thing up to put in the stroller. So finally I'm watching this thing and I'm like, all right, fine. So I walk over to her. I made a joke saying that bag is bigger than yours. And I just grab the damn thing and I pick it up and I put it in her bag. And I'm waiting to see, is she going to be polite and respectful, or am I going to get some shit? Well, obviously, because she's in her mid-50s and she's older and older school, she was very grateful that I helped her out. And she thanked me and she made, you did that, so that was so easy for you, blah, blah, blah. And we exchanged a few words, joked around, and then I went about my business, okay? I'm going to help somebody else that's in need in terms of picking stuff up. I would do that for an older person, man or woman, whatever. But if I was walking through Costco and I saw a woman doing the same thing and she was under 35, no. She can pick that up on her own, okay? Especially if she's under 30, no. So she's older, I'm going to help out, but I'm drawing the line here. Some people may not like that, but again, this is how the world is. Again, what behavior, what actions has been done to justify me, to earn the right of me, being a gentleman, to women in the younger age range, because we know how they've been molded over the last few decades thanks to the you-know-what movement. Number 3, walking on the outside of the sidewalk. Men should act as protectors, so while it may be unlikely that a woman will trip and fall off the sidewalk into oncoming traffic, a man who walks on the side closest to the street shows that he's thinking about his significant other's safety. Well, unless she's the clumsiest girl in the world, I seriously doubt she's going to trip, fall into oncoming traffic. That's just ridiculous. Now, I got no problem with the guy being the protector, especially if this is his girlfriend, but the whole walking close to the sidewalk, that's just stupid, okay? Really. Number 4, giving her your coat. The sweetest self-sacrificial act of old romantic films. What I tell you about movies and TV are bullshit. This one should never go out of style. If a woman is cold, there's nothing better to warm her than the outerwear of her beloved. It not only shows that he cares enough about her to suffer a bit for himself, but it always looks super cute. So the guy, say you're on a date, and the guy prepares himself because he makes sure before he leaves to pick her up or meet her, he looks at a weather report and says, you know what, it's going to be cold, so I'm going to bring my jacket. But a lot of women don't dress practically because they want to look better, and they end up wearing shoes that don't fit and that are uncomfortable. They wear clothes that look good, but they're going to freeze their butts off or whatever. So now the guy has to suffer because she wasn't practical with her planning in terms of the outfit. So now he's got to take his jacket off so she won't be cold. Now he's going to be cold. Okay? No. Okay? Now, I did this once in my life, guys. One time, I was 18 years old, and my senior year in high school was our senior class trip. We would go somewhere. And we went to Florida to Disney World. Okay, and it was like 4 days, and one day, and this was in April 1996. This goes to show how old I am, okay? So it was in April in Florida, in Orlando, Florida. It was like in the, probably in the daytime around 60 degrees when we were there, give or take. But in the nighttime, it was like 50 or upper 40s, okay? It would get cold. So in the daytime, I'd wear shorts and a t-shirt, and you're going to be warm in the Florida sun, even in 60-degree April. But I would bring along a sweatshirt and pants to change into at night so I'm not freezing my butt off, right? Well, this one day I did that, and I'm with my girlfriend and my buddies, and it gets dark, and of course, she didn't plan ahead. She's wearing her shorts and a t-shirt and stuff like that, and she's cold. So being the gentleman that I was, I gave her my sweatshirt, and I gave her my long pants, my jeans. She puts them on. They're all baggy on her because she's petite and little, and she looks like a homeless person, but at least she's warm. But guess who's freezing his ass off? Me. The whole night walking around the Magic Kingdom of Disney World, I'm freezing my ass off because I gave her the stuff. I made a point to bring this stuff with me. I made a point to lug this around in my backpack all day. And at the end of the day, when I got to benefit from planning ahead, she benefited from it. She got to stay warm, and I'm freezing my ass off. That was the first and last time I ever did anything like that. Y'all can plan ahead for yourselves. Next one. Here's a big one. Giving up your seat. The other quintessential self-sacrificial act, standing so a lady can sit. Be it on a crowded subway or a barbecue with limited lawn chairs, a man who offers the opposite sex his seat will always be awarded major politeness points. He may be awarded major politeness points, but he's not getting laid. Guys, if I'm riding the commuter rail into Boston, or if I'm in Boston and I'm riding the subway, or the T as they call it, and I'm sitting down and I see an old lady or an old man, old couple, whatever, standing, you bet your ass I'm going to give them my seat because that is a respectable, right thing to do. They're old. It hurts everywhere, so I'm going to do that. Or if I see someone that's handicapped and they're standing up, I'm going to give them my seat. I don't care how old they are, who they are. If I see a pregnant woman on the subway, the T, or the commuter rail into Boston, again, I will give up my seat because she's carrying that bun in the oven. That's the right thing to do. But if it's just your average girl, no. She's got two legs. She's young. She can stand up. I'm not giving up my seat. And this also goes for being out at a bar or a party. A couple of years ago, I'm at a barbecue, just like they mentioned in the article, and I'm sitting down, relaxing, enjoying myself with my beer, hanging out with my friends. And one of the girls there, who I've been friends with for years, she wanted my seat. And we were out of chairs. And I said, no, I'm not giving you my chair. And we're friends, and I love to push her buttons. And she just gave me this, she just shook her head, gave me a smile, and called me a brute. But she's obviously smiling. And this is the type of woman that always goes for guys that treat her like crap. Right? So, Again, people that really need to sit down, I will give it up. Anybody else? No. Now, by the way, if this was like a girlfriend of mine, but at this point in time, guys, if I actually have a girlfriend, okay, I'm not doing exclusive relationships right now, but if I do, darn well you better believe that she's going to be the type of girl, the type of woman that is going to be feminine, and B, earn good treatment from me. So if she's the type that obviously earns through her behavior and being loyal and a kind person and not being a pain in the ass, then if it was my girlfriend and there was only one seat left on the train or the bus or whatever, and I got on first, I'll give it to her. But again, she has to earn it. But for your average girl, forget it. All right, number 6, bringing flowers. Sweet-scented, whimsical, and beautiful, flowers are the perfect gift. Different types even express different sentiments. Red roses and tulips signify romance and desire, while violets signify loyalty and devotion. They're essential, expected on Valentine's Day and anniversaries. But surprising a woman with a bouquet on a typical Monday is supreme chivalry. Guys, I don't want to hear for you guys that date, ever show up on a date with some flowers. I don't care if it's like your 10th date. You don't do that. The only time you can get away with the whole flower thing is if this is your girlfriend and you've been with her for a while, or if you are married. I'm not recommending it, but if you're married and both parties, through their treatment of you, deserve it, okay? And if you're going to do it very sparingly. Do not do it very often, okay? Valentine's Day, you can do it, okay? I know it's going to annoy the shit out of you having to call up and buy these stupid flowers and spend that kind of money because you know it's going to die in a few days. Total waste of money, ridiculous. But if this is your girlfriend or your wife, if you're going to get married and she has earned it through good behavior and treating you really well and being a feminine girl, being all the good qualities that a woman should have towards a guy that's equally treating her well, then it's okay every once in a while. But just for some chick that you're going on a date with or you haven't been around dating very long, no. And that also goes for gifts as well. Next one, number 7. Speaking respectfully. A woman should never be spoken to like she's a character on the opposing team. Profane language, slang, and terms like dude that should be reserved for the bros have no place around a lady. Where does she come up with this shit? Instead, she should be spoken to with respect and eloquence. Shakespeare used verse to compare his love to a summer's day. It's time to bring back high standards in speech. All right, what century is this woman in? Seriously, did she get a time machine? Is she from 1602 and this is what her idea is here? And Shakespeare? Come on here. Guys, do not change who you are. Do not change the way you talk just because you think it's going to make a woman like you more, okay? Be yourself. If you curse a lot, then you curse a lot. If she doesn't like it, too bad. You'll find a girl that does like it, okay? And I'm not saying like saying things like being mean, but just if you I got a buddy of mine, he's Irish, and every other word out of his mouth is the F word, for F's sake and things like that. That's just who he is. Well, his girlfriend loves him to death, okay? And she's definitely a little more prim and proper than he is. He's himself. He has no apologies. He doesn't care. So don't change the way you talk just because some woman says that's going to make you more of the gentleman. No, it's ridiculous. Never change who you are. Unless you have a truly bad quality about yourself that's harmful or causing you harm and things like that, that's okay to change about yourself. But just to change a personality trait about yourself because it would make you appear more appealing, never do that. Next one, number 8. Calling instead of texting. This goes along with respectful speech. Gentlemen will always prefer speaking on the phone to tapping out a quick text. While there are often practical reasons for choosing the latter, ringing someone up to discuss big matters and just to say I love you is always the proper choice. Guys, it is more masculine. Let's just say you got a girl's number and you like her. It is definitely more masculine and confident to actually call her on the phone and plan a date than opposed to texting her about a date. But this is someone that you're seeing regularly, like you're dating multiple women, someone you've been out with a few times, or it's your girlfriend. For God's sakes, this is the 21st century. People communicate through text. It's a lot easier to get a quick thing across through a text than an actual phone call and calling them up. In fact, in today's world, people will think you're kind of odd if you called them for every single little thing. Okay, that's what my mom does. My mom is 75 years old. She doesn't text. She's going to call me up for the littlest thing. But my mom is 75 years old, so she gets a pass. Okay, if you were calling your girlfriend or girl you're seeing every time for every little thing, it's going to probably think she's going to think you're a little odd. Okay. And of course, if it's a big discussion, then of course you're going to talk on the phone or do it in person. But just for little things, this is just stupid. Number 9, paying the bill. A real man wants to provide for his woman. While it's often true nowadays that a woman makes as much or more than her significant other, so that takes away the whole thing about equal pay. Right then and there, she just admitted that nowadays women make as much or more than her significant other. Just want to point that out. A man who always picks up the bill proves that he is both capable of supporting his lady and, more importantly, that he desires to do so. Guys, you can choose whether you want to do this on a date. It depends on your situation, okay? But there are a lot of women out there that will get annoyed if a guy, especially like if it's a first date or so and you're just getting to know each other, which I always tell you to go for one drink only. That's it. That way you're not really dealing with this crap. But there are a lot of women out there that will get mad if the guy wants to pay the bill because of all the bullshit with feminism, okay? So I say, hey, you can pick and choose what you want to do. If you are in a relationship and sometimes you pay for the bill and sometimes she pays for the bill, okay, that's fine. But in terms of if you're just dating regularly, and let's just say that you've gone past the first date or two, you've actually hooked up, okay, and you're having a good time together, you can split the bill. But if you want to take care of it, that's your own business. But just the fact that she's making it out to be that you got to pay the bill all the time, that's horseshit. Number 10, putting ladies first. We've all heard this phrase, but likely hear it less and less these days. So when a man abides by this rule, it's exceedingly refreshing. A man who puts a woman first, whether it's ordering at a restaurant or queuing at the supermarket, demonstrating patience and self-sacrifice. Guys, one of the biggest difference between nice guys and bad boys is that bad boys always put their wants and needs first. Always. The classic nice guy always puts everybody else's needs, including the woman's needs, before him, and him dead last. Who always gets the women? Who always gets dumped? Okay? I'm not saying you got to be a jerk about it, but understand that. Just keep that in mind. The next thing, the idea that goes in your head that you got to always put ladies first all the time. In today's world, it'll be perceived as kissing her butt, as being too nice, too easy, and it won't end well. Again, if this is your girlfriend or your wife, if you're married, and both of them are treating you in a way that deserves this kind of good treatment, then occasionally you can do these things. But if it's just some ordinary girl that you've just started dating and she hasn't done anything to deserve special treatment, good treatment, do not do this. Put yourself first, okay? People may not like what I'm saying, but, go and do the... For anyone that doesn't like what I'm saying here, then go ahead and do everything that this woman is telling you and then come back and let me know how it went. I guarantee it's not going to go very well. Last one, she even has a bonus one. Getting down on one knee. A real man dates with the intention to marry. What a load of crap. Are you telling me your average girl in her 20s in today's world is dating with the intention to marry? Not a chance in hell. Called riding the carousel, baby. And when he decides that he's found the one, the most chivalrous way of proposing is down on one knee after asking her father's permission. Knights used to take this stance in front of their lord as a demonstration of respect and loyalty. Well, this isn't the medieval times, so get over it, lady. So naturally, when a man wanted to ask for a woman's hand in marriage, pledging his allegiance to and love for her, he got down on one knee. We think it's extremely romantic. Well, I don't care because I tell you guys don't get married, so don't even bother with that. And in her closing thoughts, she says, ladies, you deserve respect from men. Well, so do we. Us guys deserve respect too. And women will get respect when they start treating the men with respect. Acts of chivalry are not intended to make you feel degraded or incapable. Quite the opposite. They're undertaken by men to demonstrate that they think highly of the female sex. So, never settle for a man who doesn't bring you flowers, offer you his Letterman, or make you feel that you're worthy and loved. So there you go, guys. And like I said, I'm sure many of you guys that have been around the block know that if you do all these things that she talked about there, the odds are you're never getting laid. Okay? And you can do some of those things, guys, like I talked about, again, if the woman that you are is your girlfriend or your wife, and she's deserved it. She truly treats you well. She treats you like the king. She is loyal and supportive and drama-free, or minimal drama. All women are going to have a little drama, let's be honest here. But minimal drama, and she really deserves it. Then you can do some of those things. And of course, some of those things like opening the door, picking up heavy objects, letting somebody have your seat on the train or the bus or whatever. Again, for those that are obviously older or handicapped or whatever, I would highly recommend as just a decent human being doing that for people, as I always do. But for just your average, ordinary girl, no. Not happening. Not in today's world. You don't deserve it. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.